similar size too, if you think about it, right? I mean, try getting 10% flat tax rate in Europe, anywhere else in Europe, right? I think the Hungarians are trying to do it at 9.9, but then they hit you on the back with a bunch of other taxes. So that's one piece of it. But the other piece of what we are really seeing is that when economic activity increases, there are no problems for tax revenues, but more importantly, the value add actually increases as well, because a lot of the value right now of, let's say, what's produced in Bulgaria is lost due to logistics, either towards the EU or out. So if we fix the logistics, our estimate, for example, just getting rid of making sure we have the land border Schengen, not just the air Schengen, is between 3 and 5% of GDP. That's the immediate impact. Within 2 years, we are going to see 3 to 5% increase in GDP just by unblocking that one logistical problem. And that's without creating any new infrastructure. Now, if we actually improve the infrastructure, make it much easier for companies to not even think, right? I mean, if you're in Western Europe, you don't really think about the logistics. You know, you have a decent rail, decent highway to a port that's probably within 100 kilometers. And if you're in the Balkans, logistics is half of your game, both local and the international logistics. I think that's extremely important to kind of fix and take away as a problem for the business. And the other thing is, we've already seen it. The amount of Romanian tourists that come to Bulgaria, the amount of Bulgarian tourists that go to Greece. I mean, I think the country is already seeing that tourism traffic benefiting greatly. And I think that's only going to increase once we put, for example, decent trains. Mm-hmm. There is no train right now between Ruse and Bucharest. Yeah. And all of Ruse is using Bucharest's airports, and that's 80 kilometers. And putting a decent train that can get you in 1 hour from one city to the other probably double the amount of people who do that and make it much easier. Same thing we're doing in Bulgaria. We're putting fast trains so that we can move. For example, we now have the infrastructure. It turns out we don't have the trains themselves, but the Plovdiv, which is the second largest Bulgarian city, to Edirne, the closest Turkish city on the other side of the border, is 1 hour, 10 minutes. And we have the rails to do it. We don't have the trains to do it yet. Hopefully in a few months we'll have it. Turkey is building out the train line. So Plovdiv to Istanbul is going to be 3 hours by train. That completely changes tourism, business, absolutely everything. And I think that's where we have to start thinking of how do we stitch the countries better. And if we think about what's happening in Western Europe and what happened post-World War II, the main thing that happened were the highway system, the railway system. Same thing with the US. The interstate highway system basically completely linked the country in a way that that if Europe had, we would be in a very different economic situation.
Thank you very much, Asен. Following up on that infrastructure and especially ownership, also public partnerships, or maybe even denationalization of ports and hubs, airports in Albania, ports in Greece and elsewhere. How do you think what will be the future on that front? What kind of financial collaborations will we see there? Will we see more government involvement in Europe, given especially those strategic crises that we see, the geopolitical challenges that we face? Will it be more government investment, or will it be private? How would you see that, John?
Hopefully it will be, at least in the beginning, a public-private initiative and collaboration in order to facilitate any dream that we have. And actually, it's not a dream, because what these two gentlemen are doing is not just a dream. They're implementing it. Overnight, they cut off Russian gas supplies. And nobody in Bulgaria had a problem. Right now, we are collaborating between Greek and Bulgarian ports, and we're going to moving cargo like never before, and the people will be saving money.